Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Mac,
And Blair.
and we're back to sit down and talk with you a little bit about what it's been like having twins. We're now parents of six, and the babies are a little over a month old. We thought this would be a good time to talk about what it's been like up to this point.
Yep. To start things off, we've had the babies now for like Max said, for about a month now, and we're starting to see personality, how babies are getting along in the morning, how they're getting along in the evenings, who likes being around home.
Yeah. The babies do actually have preferences about who they prefer to spend time with. And we'll get to that. But let's go back and start at the comparison point.
Yep.
All of our other children, four children born in Virginia, Northern Virginia, same hospital. Here are these two born in the UK, in London. We've already done a video where we talked about that birth experience, but what has it been like? From you, from the standpoint of big differences between the first month care here in the UK vice the US.
Okay. So the first month we've been seen by several different midwives. Like our midwife care has continued on. That's been very different. So we got home from the hospital on we'll call it day 3, and then day 5 we had a visit from the midwife. So that was great from a perspective of we didn't have to get these little tiny people dressed and into a car and take them to a medical facility, that we had somebody come into the house and check on us, see how we're doing with the babies, how the babies are doing with their weight checks and stuff. We've had that experience before in the States where they do expect you to see medical care within the first 2 or 3 days of the baby being home, but you have to bundle the baby up and take them into a facility. And that is, yeah, it's really hard when you're uh, sleep deprived and everything else.
Yeah, I'm going back to our first child when we had Blakely. Uh, so we brought her home, and then you have to go back, like you said, within day 2 or 3 to for that medical checkup, and her weight had dropped a few percentages lower than
Yeah,
what was acceptable. And then they told us at that point, bring her back. I think it was every 2 days.
right.
And so that
It's
was a chore.
hard.
That was hard because
Yes.
we'd had to load her, get ourselves dressed,
Yes.
get her dressed, get her into a car seat, get her into the vehicle, drive to the doctor's office, find parking because it was
Yes.
in Northern Virginia, so not a lot of parking. So you
Of
had to leave
course.
early enough to get there to find parking, get her out of the vehicle, get in the stroller, get up to the building, in the building, up the elevator to the doctor's office, then sit there,
Right.
wait in the doctor's office until they can see you.
Right.
And then you go back, they weigh her. Oh, she's doing better, but she's still a little underweight.
Right.
Come back in 3 more days.
Right.
Right? You
Right.
remember that.
You definitely.
And I'm sorry, that went on for like 2 weeks.
Yes. And I could only imagine what that would be like with two car seats with a much bigger contraption to get them in and out of the building. Yeah, that would be so much harder if we had to do that here. So it's been a godsend of sorts to not have to move. Like a couple of our appointments, yeah, I lost track of time, and I'm Mac is coming to me. He's like, "She's here," and I'm like, "Oh, hold on a second, I'm coming, I'm coming." Like
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
much different feeling than
Yeah, that's definitely a win for the
for the
British
yeah.
NHS system. That the fact that the midwife come to the home and you said day 3, they were
I
here.
think it might have been the next
Day
day.
day 2, it almost was like the next day, and then 2 days after, then 3 days after, then 2 days after, then 3 days after. And that's not necessarily because there's something wrong with the babies. That's just per
That's just what they
standard
do.
care.
Yeah,
And we didn't have to bundle up, and you didn't have to. They were weighing them here.
yeah,
All of the checks were happening
yeah.
here. You
They weighed them here. They did a heel prick test here. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I
all of
like
that
doing that
at home,
here. Yeah,
at
at
home.
home.
So that's been a big win, a
Yes.
really big win. I've liked that. I've liked that a lot.
Also, being able to talk to somebody every couple of days, a medical professional every couple of days about any concerns that we have. Do we have any concerns about feeding? Did we need to see someone else about feeding? And recommendations are, oh, you can go talk to this infant feeding team or go to that feeding team. That was great too, like to have that constant support.
That was good. So let's go back and talk about first well, of course, you get them home the first couple of days, and they're adjusting. And we do have a video when we introduce them to their siblings, and they have done well. But let's talk about sleeping for a moment. And I'm talking about the littles. They have a bassinet downstairs and one in our
Yes.
room, and so sleeping has been different.
It's been very different because there's two of them. And before it was only worried about one waking up, and now there's two waking up. And at first, when it was two waking up, it was okay if the other cried. Right now, we're going through the experience of if one cries, like you got 10 seconds to stop that crying before the other
Yeah,
one wakes up, and we
yeah.
have to start this process all over
Yeah,
again.
they have started triggering the
Each
other
other.
to cry. So you have a short amount of time to stop the first baby from crying, or else the second baby, if they're asleep, they're gonna wake up. Whatever
Yes.
they're doing, you have a short window, or else they're both gonna start to cry.
Yes.
And I mean, it's good to see them working together.
Yeah. And acknowledging the other one, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But at nighttime, when we're going down for bed, they're getting a feeding at 1 a.m. This is the first month. 1 a.m., then 3 a.m., then 5 a.m., then 7. And literally in the daytime, those feedings are more spread out. But at night, every single night, it has been every 2 hours, every 2 hours. And so, and you know, it is, and you take one,
Yeah.
and then I take the other, or however Blair's kind of leading us through this orchestrated orchestra of feeding and changing, and this is in the overnight hours, and I guess I kind of forgotten about that. I
Yeah.
mean, every time we go through it, it feels like it's the first time. Like these are child six, 5 and 6, but it feels like one. It feels like this
Yes.
is the first time
Because it's
we've gone through
very, and
this.
I will say, because there's a 10-year age gap between our first and our fifth and sixth baby. So talk about remembering how it was. Was it like this? Was it not like this?
Yeah.
And neither one of us can
And
really tell
yeah,
you.
and so we had our first four back to back. It was 2011, 13, 15. So there was a period in the dark years
As he calls them.
between, would say 2013 through 16. I really don't remember much because we during that period we had like three babies or three toddlers because they were a year and a half apart, and so a lot of that I don't remember, but I clearly know now this experience, and we're going through it. We're
Yeah.
going through it. The babies are doing well. They're growing.
Yeah, they're growing really well. So they were born at 5 and 6 pounds roughly.
Yeah.
Now they're both up to 9 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. So they've both grown really well. Little girl has almost doubled in
Yes.
size. She's right at doubling in size in just a little over a month. So they're doing really well. We're very pleased, and the relationship with them and their older siblings. How would you say? What would you say
I
about
think
that?
it's really good. They recognize their older siblings when they come around. Their older siblings still want to hold them, still want to interact with them.
Yeah, they're asking how are they doing, what do they do, and I'm loving seeing that relationship build between the younger set and the older set. I love to see this, and we're creating scenarios and times for them all to be together in the same space. We are letting the older kids hold the unsupervised, of course,
Right.
hold the little ones for a little while, and just kind of building and kind of bonding them all together. Now, we've also had, because we have four older children, we're having to make sure that we're dedicating time not just to the babies, but to the four children that we already have. Like, so a lot of hugs going to the oldest daughter, hugs going to the sons,
Yeah.
conversation going on with them. I'm taking them to school and to different practices, and I'm talking with them a lot more, just making sure I'm engaging with them so none of them feel as though they're being necessarily pushed aside
Right.
for the sake of the babies. And that's where it kind of helps that there is a little bit more of a gap in their ages and the littles, because I haven't noted too much where they're feeling kind of pushed aside. They really do seem very excited about the whole experience.
Right, right. And then whenever we see one of them being a little sad, a little down, we talk to them like, "Hey, what's going on? What's wrong?" And usually it's a very simple request, like, "Oh, okay, I can do that. We can do that. You can hold the babies. It's no problem. Like, just let me know."
Yeah. So uh 6 kids, and it's dynamic, and we're always working to try to improve those relationships with them, improve the relationships with each other. Your mom has been here.
Right.
That has been tremendous, because when we need those breaks, we've been able to get it. She's been able to jump in and help out a lot. So the routine, and we could kind of cover probably maybe in another video to do a full day walk through the whole day. But the routine has been, Blair's mom is really much more helpful in the daylight hours, into the early evening, and then as we pick up into the evening and heading into the overnight, that's really like we're all here. So none of us working. Like I'm not working now.
Right.
Blair's not working. We're both at home dedicated to this. But definitely in those evening and nighttime hours, that's when we kind of dial it back from your mom, dial it back from the kids, and we
Right.
take over that. I want to call it that night shift and that overnight shift.
Right.
That's all us. That's all us. We don't want to put that pressure on anyone else.
Right.
But I would hate to imagine, you know,
Somebody didn't have all the support.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's been on my mind is for whatever unforeseen circumstance, for whatever reason, to be a single parent and having twins, and it doesn't matter, boy, girl, that aspect is not relevant at this point, aside from the fact that it hasn't happened to me yet, because I know what I'm doing. But little boy will spray down some walls. He will. If you take that diaper off and you're not ready, I think he got you your
he
shirt,
got me a couple of times. Okay.
the
Yeah.
wall,
He got me a couple of times. The wall.
the bed,
Yeah, the
the
bed.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and so if you're not paying attention to him when you're changing him,
Yeah.
has it happened to me? I know. Go in. It's a technique. I go in. I have my technique down.
Yeah.
Cover quick. Cover fast. Remove and cover.
Yes.
It's a remove and cover quickly,
Yes.
because he will get you. But aside from that, they've actually now, and it may be a little early with this, they started throwing out little smiles at us when we just a little bit, small smiles, and they get so much more fun here as they continue to get older. So, what has this experience been like? I'm gonna step back for a minute because I know what my experience has been like. But for you, you're dealing with the postpartum aspect of it. So, what is that in the first month? What has that aspect of it been like from your side, healthcare and everything?
So for my healthcare and everything, that's been going well. It's just been a lot more to get used to. Like, however hormonal shift there is when you have one, I had two, so that's been a whole nother thing. But then other parts of it has been much easier than with previous pregnancies and previous postpartum experiences.
Yeah, I tried to be supportive and step back when I need to, and allow you to kind of lead through a lot of this as we go through the different phases of it, and try to recognize like when it's a good time to interject, when it's a good time to pull back, when it's a good time to let you make the decision. And your mom and I, we talk about this and kind of trying to make sure we're going through this the right way, because we recognize there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of emotions, a lot of different aspects that are involved in this. It's a big change, right? We had 4 children and now we have 6, and it was not a gradual transition. It's just now you have 6, and so we had some time to get ready for it during the pregnancy. But we have to acknowledge, uh, Blakely's right. We cannot put everyone in one car. The family just won't fit in one vehicle right now. It just won't work. So we're working on a solution for that. So I'm very happy. Babies are born healthy, 10 fingers, 10 toes. They've gotten all their approvals. They've been checked over by the doctors. They're growing well. They are not health wise, as far as health is concerned, not too colicky or anything like that. I'm very happy. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, how do you feel?
I'm happy with them. They've been doing great. They've been a great addition to the family. They I couldn't have asked for like better babies.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to a couple months from now when Blakely keeps trying to pick them up and like kind of, are they ticklish? And I'm like, no, they're not ticklish yet. And there's a lot of things they're just starting to give those little budding of responses to us. The personalities are definitely coming out.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell little boy, little girl how they like to be held, how they like to be fed, at what pace. He will never finish a whole bottle at one time. It's I'm going to drink half the bottle, then give me a moment to chill, sit
Take in the
back,
environment.
take it in. Okay, now come on, give me the second half.
Yeah.
Whereas I really just call her my little milk hog because she's the one who has almost doubled in size, and she's like, I'm drinking everything, every bottle. Give me his bottle. Let's just
Let's
keep
just
going.
go with it.
And of course, we're talking bottles, but a lot of those are also when you're breastfeeding or however you're doing that. It's just kind of they're going for it.
Yeah.
Growth has been
She's
good.
very much going for it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But I guess a lot of it was because of the two when they were born. She was a little smaller, and in the womb maybe she just couldn't get quite as much as she wanted, and now she's like, I'm making up.
yeah, she's all for it.
I'm making up. I'm making up. So is there anything that you specifically are looking forward to from this point going forward? This is where we are today. Or is there anything you're looking forward to in like the near future?
The near future for
Yeah.
them, no, it's just more growing, more. I'll be glad when they have head control. Because I forgot how that feels to have to support everything. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, she's going too far. Okay. And
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And
so,
yeah.
yeah, head control, I'll look forward to that and just more pronounced schedules. Like, we got to work on a schedule.
Yeah, they're
'Cause-
getting big too, and
yeah.
so they're starting to get heavy if you're holding them for
Yeah.
extended periods. And then, like, when will you be able to sit up? Because they can't sit up yet. They can't do any of those things, but the weight is starting to increase, and so you're holding now. They're becoming bigger babies, which is good. Big babies are great,
Yeah.
but yeah, like head control would be good.
Head control would be great.
Yeah, so we're not gonna rush them.
No.
They'll get
We
there.
want to enjoy this time.
Yeah.
Definitely our last time, our
Yeah,
last go at this.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we want to enjoy it and make sure we remember all of it. We were looking at pictures the other day and we're like, oh, I don't even remember this picture.
Yeah.
Did you take this picture? I don't know.
Yeah. So we have tens of thousands of photos and videos going back to. We could pick it up at just when our first daughter was born, and we started looking at those videos coming forward. We made to the second child being born, and then the third, and it took us 2 hours to
Yeah.
get to the fourth. Not but from the beginning to the end. It was a 2 hour thing of just going through, just scrolling through. A lot of scrolling through fast, but we've had a lot of wonderful experiences. We've been blessed to go a lot of places, do a lot of things, and have a lot of fun. And especially like back in the States when we were running the farm, and the kids are out there with the chickens and the pigs, and they were feeding the animals, and so we were having a lot of those type experiences. We took a lot of photos of those things,
Right.
and I really enjoyed that. I think the kids, I know they enjoyed it. They've enjoyed what we're doing here. And now we have two more. And the idea is, okay, let's just keep it rolling
Yep.
so that the wheels would be rolling as these two come online and they could just jump right in and do everything they were doing
Yeah.
as
This
a
is how
family.
we do it as
Yeah.
a family.
As a family, this is how we do. We love to travel. We love to have great experiences, new experiences, exploring new places, exploring cultures, having conversations with great people.
Yeah. And of course, celebrating each other and celebrating different milestones in our lives.
Yeah, and that's it. So, hey guys, this is a short one. We just wanted to talk to you about what it's been like having twins. I'm excited. It's still good. I'm still loving every minute of it, even at 3 in the morning when I need to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep,
Yes.
but I also have to take care of baby. And so that's good. I will say this real quick though. What we do though, there's a tag team because if I'm working with one and you're working with the other and it's not working, we will switch out.
Yes.
And that works a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, here, you take this baby, I'll take that one, and that helps a lot.
Yes.
So if there's any tips,
Let us know. Let us know
Switch.
down below if you have any tips for handling twins or just handling a single baby because we don't remember.
yeah,
It's been a while.
we forgot a lot. And if there's anything else that you want us to know about our process, about what we have going on here, and how we're moving forward, just kind of leave a question, leave a comment, and we'll try to respond, or we'll cover it in a video. If enough people ask for the same thing, we'll definitely try to cover that in the video. But that's what we'll do. Until next time, guys. Take care.
Take care.